Hey everybody, welcome to Visual Communication and Media. My name is Adam Rozeski. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you. I hope everybody's having a great week. Excited y'all have here. Welcome you into week 1 as we start getting to week 2. Keep in mind that lectures now are on Monday, so Monday evening is when we're going to have lecture 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll post the links tomorrow, so everything should be good from then on out. And then, yeah, let's get into it and go from there. So, we talked about sensory communication, the first response type, and we also talked about visual communication as a whole, and mediums and how people have communicated through visuals over time and different ways to do that. We're going to add the last part of sensory communication. So we talked about color, balance, and nonverbal communication. The last aspect is lines and their usage and why they matter. And line is one basic element of visual communication. Lines direct the flow of content, divide space, and you can point them in directions to create an emphasis on a specific area. Each type of line represents a different kind of mood or sense in some way or form, such as straight lines. They give the impression of strictness and rigidity. They show traditionalism, but also they show consistency. And that's a real big thing, because if everything's consistent and flowing with the structure of the lines and how they format with the images, companies and groups like to use straight lines to show organization and reliability. Now, curved lines also show trust as well, but in a different way, where regular lines and straight lines are consistent. Curved lines show trust to where people can feel at ease a lot of times because of the playfulness and grace of the curve. And when we use curved lines, we tend to show them off in a way to where you can do a lot of things with them. They're more flexible, and you can change them based upon how you want to structure the design. Groups and companies like to put viewers at ease and show security because it doesn't always have to be straight. It can be changed, and it can be malleable in more ways than one. And that's really huge. Now, diagonal lines are a little different. Diagonal lines are pleasant and stimulating to the eye. They help direct viewers' eyes, and they're really used a lot in exciting events or to promote certain things because they want to direct people's eye movement to see this element in more ways than one, or there's visual. So we tend to see diagonal lines point to areas that we need to see. Now, if you use them too much, like in this image right here, they can cause confusion and tension, because when the lines kind of stack in with each other very closely, the eye has a hard time focusing on where it needs to focus in a lot of different areas, so it makes it hard for them. Now, thick dark lines, unlike diagonal lines, they're meant for boldness, they're used for strength and confidence, and they're meant for groups to appear successful. We tend to see these a lot in like promotional events, rock groups, movie posters. Big lines help promote big things, and that's why we tend to see them a lot in very high promotional events. Now, thin light lines are a little bit different. Unlike regular consistent lines, these are meant for delicacy and gentleness. They're meant for organization, but not for an overbearing look like those consistent lines we saw in the first example. Companies use these to showcase beauty without intimidation, and that's a big aspect right there, because we tend to see this a lot with clothing lines, any type of interior design, anything that shows type of beauty or show type of a design element in more ways. And the last element is group lines. They're meant for exploration. They're used to show data easily, and companies use these to showcase numbers and research. That way they can promote the data in more ways than one. But other than that, that's all I got. Wanted to show y'all some differences in lines and how they're used to gather responses through the visuals a lot of times. Now, keep in mind your discussion post, your reply post, and your initial post are due by the end of the night tonight. Keep in mind next week, initial posts are going to be due on Tuesday night. All right, so keep that in mind. Other than that, you also have your live lecture assignments. Please make sure they're turned in, because if they're not turned in on Sunday, they're considered late, and if they're late, they're a 0 because they're tied to your attendance. So that's a big thing, so please make sure those are turned in. Please take a look at the lecture to see how to complete the discussions, the live lectures, and the written assignment. Written assignment is also due tomorrow at the end of the night on Sunday. Please communicate with me if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you're not going to be able to turn them in, so that way I can help you out and make a schedule for you, so that would be perfect. But other than that, that's all I got. So if you have any questions, let me know. Be safe, have fun, enjoy. Looking forward to everybody on Monday so I can see everybody then. And take it easy. All right. Thanks for being awesome. Bye-bye.